bad prompt, and they somehow managed to make it like really good. But yeah, it's good, and I give people avatars if they don't have one they want to use for like a particular character. But, like the improv part of it is just like I give it to them like right then, and then they have like a few seconds to think about like how they want to do it. But people can also be the intruder who comes in like halfway through the scene, which is another interesting role.
All right. Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. I got
Alright,
nothing
cool.
better to do.
Yeah, should be a good time. Ideally, I'm trying to get, if I get like around 15 people is like a good amount. So I'm trying to be, I send out a lot of DMs because I'm usually like a lot of people don't end up being busy during that time because it's like right, you know, it's before DJ night or whatever, and people are playing games or whatever before hopping on VR. But yeah, it should be good. Everyone usually gets to go up at least once or twice for the seat.
All right, yeah, I'm down.
Oh, cool.
Love it.
Yeah, should be good.
All right, I'm gonna go get in VR and get really drunk.
Nice. Don't forget to drink water.
I will. All right, I'll see you around.
All right, see ya. Take care. Let me see here. Okay, let me go to... I have my list up. I'm just going to update my list. Oh, I also got to update the other people that DM'd me. Okay, where is... Veterans right here. Alright, I can... Okay, I got another yes just now. There we go. Let's see. Okay, go up here. Work. Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's good?
Not much, man. Dude, this world's very fun and shit. I'll explain in just a second. I'm just updating the like the attendance DM. I have it in Notepad.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Have you seen the so this is a famous like YouTube video of Jack Black where they're explaining like an octagon with Elmo?
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
a bunch of YouTubers. Yeah, there's a bunch of YouTubers at the time that made this like music video almost where they were just you know that thing where they use like audio from like just like a video or something they incorporate into a song.
Oh yeah, like the like remixes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like how Skrillex to the chick with the cups and she says yes, oh my god or whatever, and he like did that in his song. Is that
Right,
like kind of
but
the
it's
thing?
like the whole video is just using lines of hold on, I'll just send it if I can find it. I'm not
Okay.
sure if I can find it. Maybe they took it. Oh no. Yeah, it's an 8-minute video. Don't watch it now, but hold on.
Okay, yeah. Keep it on standby.
Yeah.
8 awesome angles. I like that. That's a good thumbnail design. Yeah, I like this world. I got an update. And you can... It's crazy, dude. I started getting silly with it. So I did this twerk, and then I had both these toggles out. And if you press T, you go into third-person mode. And then also with this avatar, I was doing this, and I could just fucking sprint, get around really quick with this. It's like a desktop boost and flight system thing. And I just, this shit just like super
What the
scuffed.
fuck is Elmo doing?
I don't know, he's like spazzing out or something. Because I have the twerk on, and then he does this running animation like in place of the twerk, and then I don't know. Like it ends up going crazy. Like I do this shit over there, I go back over here. That's only 29% speed control. But I get places, so I was exploring, like, they did an update and they added some NPCs and like a few other things. There's still probably a long way to go, but it's pretty entertaining compared to other, like, the average VR chat world. So I was just coming in and seeing what all the updates were.
Have you gone to the Majora's Mask world?
How... which one? Because I know sometimes people just they'll just upload like the map of like Termina. But I didn't know if there's one that was more interactive.
Like items and shit that you can like hookshot places and.
Oh shit. That actually sounds sick.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I have it saved.
If this person's made any. Well, they made a few other worlds.
No, I don't think I have.
Monster Hunter Tri Deserted Island. Throwback. Actually, my first monster was 3U. And my friend hated any maps where you had to be in water. But I know some people like the water levels. Or Monster Hunter, or whenever, like, water areas. You had to fight the monster, like, underwater. My friend hated this mechanic. So when they did away with it in 4U, he was so happy. Like, finally, I could fight him on the monster.
Playing in Worlds.
Yeah, World is so good, and it came out of nowhere when they announced that. Like, people were like, okay, Monster Hunter Rise is going to come over at some point. But then it was just like, here's a Monster Hunter that's just going to be available on pretty much all platforms. All the, like, major ones. And then people were like, oh, shit. And then the online and shit for that was really good as well. Especially compared to, like, just other ones where there's constantly disconnects and other shit happening.
Yeah. Holtz got me really into that series because that's their favorite game. They've played every single Monster Hunter game since it started coming over to America.
Yeah, Monster Hunter is definitely like it's to me it's like it's a mainstream game, but also it has a cult like following. If you kind of like the when people are into it, like they're like really into it.
I feel it has like an extended like Dark Souls like From Software like fan base, right? So like like if you go back to like Dark Souls, before that was Demon Souls, and that's where like a lot of fans from the series had, and it had this like cult following. And even Dark Souls to an extent had a cult following, and it wasn't until much later, like Dark Souls 3 and then Elden Ring, where it started really taking off. But it's kind of the same way with Monster Hunter. Monster Hunters for years has had games coming over to the States. It's just not really been very popular. It's been more of a Japanese game.
Yeah.
And then suddenly with World, it took off.
They I think it helps that they released it to a bunch of platforms, because I know a bunch of people, like, if they back in the day, if they weren't on PSP, like a Monster Hunter like released on PSP, and then Nintendo, it started being like releasing on Nintendo, like 3DS and shit, like 3U and 4U, and then but then when World came out, I feel like a bunch of people, it was their first Monster Hunter game, and that was like a smart thing for them to do that. Because I mean, it's really cool. I like Monster Hunter's its mechanics as an action RPG is really fun, and the way the monsters like behave or whatever. It's not just like a one note you can predict everything the first time you fight. It kind of deals. It's kind of like it's a cool thing to wonder like how each monster's behavior like changes, because the monster can like decide to go to sleep. It could be like become like enraged or whatever. Like all these kind of things make it like a lot more interesting for the fight, as well as just like your side of it, where like you have to worry about your weapons like sharpness, You know, make sure you don't get like any ailments, like get poisoned or any of that kind of shit, or debuffs or whatever. I think with others, it's like, you know, bring someone with a hunting horn for buffs. It's kind of like the bard of the Monster Hunter series, or they're just the different weapons you can bring, right? And they'll like the positives and negatives of all of them. I find it really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I've played 2 very different weapons. I did in World, I did bow because I think bows are fucking cool. And there's like some serious disadvantage to it, although I hear it's like OP apparently. So I don't know though. I suck at the game, so it's whatever. And then in Rise, I did sword and board, and that's also apparently OP, which I wouldn't know because I suck at the game. So.
Yeah, I suck too. I went from hunting horn to hammer. I was hunting horn in 4U, and then when I went to World, I was like, let me try hammer because I wanted something still hard hitting, but was more about me just doing my own thing rather than having to give my teammates buffs. And now having to concentrate on that made it so I could just focus on, you know, fucking getting a big knockdown on a monster or whatever, like stunning the monster, and then we all just go in. I think that's really satisfying.
Yeah. I wonder if Holtz is playing.
Yeah, the thing about Monster Hunter, I don't like doing solo grind stuff where you just have to like do certain things a lot. I really just like the multiplayer aspect of it because like the mechanics, along with being with friends and like all the crazy things that the monster could do with its like different behavior patterns, could be really funny. Like, it just randomly target one person over and over for no reason. One person that goes over to try and sharpen their weapon, like on the edge of the area, and then the monster just goes after them because it's like the ultimate fuck you moment. It's just so funny. Like, I've had that happen.
Yeah.
We've had it to where the monster knocks someone in the next area.
Switching over areas and it just like follows you.
Yeah, when it
Like,
follows you,
I'm
it's
gonna go all the
spooky.
way over here.
Yeah, I'm going to the next area so it doesn't follow me, and then it follows. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing Monster Hunter World sometime soon with like, what's the most amount of people you can have in one fight? I don't even remember.
4.
Oh, okay, yeah. So 4 in one fight,
Pretty sure.
and then in one entire like hub, you can have what, like 15, 20 or something like that.
I don't know, but it keeps on looking like you're trying to get Elmo to suck you off.
Oh,
It's really distracting.
oh yeah. No, I got you.
It's just like every once in a while when you get to like when your hands in the hips, it just puts like Elmo's head right on your crotch. It's just
Yeah.
really funny.
Dude, Jack Black going on Sesame Street. There's all these crossovers that like you don't expect, and that was one of them. I was like, what? I was like, he was on Sesame Street? Crazy.
Lots of people are on Sesame Street.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense. The School of Rock. That was one of the first movies I remember seeing Jack Black in as a kid. Well, I guess I was a teenager when it came out.
The first movie I saw Jack Black in was Shallow Hal. I didn't watch it.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember that movie. I like that kind of movie. That the whole like inner beauty aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah. He was also in Never Ending Story 3.
Oh, what is that?
That's one of his. The Never Ending Story was a popular movie when I was a kid. It's about a kid who kind of escapes into a story that sort of like in between reality and fiction, and like things in the story affect reality a bit. And so he follows the story of whatever his fucking name is. I don't remember the kid's name. But basically, he follows the adventure story of this kid who's trying to save his kingdom, and through the story he grows as a person. And there's this flying dragon thing named Falcor. It's pretty cool. It's like just a cool like kids fantasy movie. I suggest watching it because there's some really there's some like references to like from other shit.
Dude, I like those kind of movies that take some kind of like fantasy or fictional aspect like that, like when you read things, the story becomes real. Like those kind of things are interesting to me. You ever seen Once Upon a Time, like live action series?
Yeah, the TV show. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, I liked it for like the first 2.5 seasons up until they brought like Frozen in season 4 or whatever.
Yeah, no,
and I felt like they were selling out, and I was like, oh, okay. But like the first 2 seasons, the first half of the 3rd season I liked just because I thought Peter Pan was an interesting villain. You already had Captain Hook, and then when Peter Pan came in, I was like, oh shit. But the first 2 seasons, the way they traverse between like what's happening in the actual town and following the curse and stuff, and then bringing up like the backstory and how they intertwine those things throughout an episode, introducing like a new character is like so interesting to me. Like I love the way they did that shit. It's like one of my favorite parts about it. Like Geppetto and Pinocchio, that was a really interesting episode.
Yeah, and Rumpelstiltskin.
I love Rumpelstiltskin, dude. That guy, one of the best characters of the show. He did so well in that role. That little fucking laugh he does, like that. It reminds me of Fat Jimmy so much, dude.
That shit's like, I haven't even thought about that show in forever.
Yeah, I thought Disney would have hated them, but I went to Disney World and they were like really supporting it. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, like the whole Disney kind of aspect. Well, it's not even like Disney, right? Because they're all their own.
Yeah, because when I went there, they brought Frozen in, and I was like, oh, so they like it now.
Yeah, it was weird. But no, I was right there. I'm right there with you, where that's kind of like where the show was being like real fucking ass.
Yeah.
One of the shows that I liked growing up was Heroes, which was really like not that great, kind of looking back. Because I think in the 2nd season, they were supposed to do all these like extra things. Because like the whole first season of Heroes, which is literally about people who are suddenly getting like, you know, superpowers and shit.
Yeah.
Was literally like the whole premise was save the cheerleader, save the world, like this prophecy. And all these other people are kind of like coming in to save this cheerleader from something, and you don't know what it is and stuff. And then you know, like the first season ends, and there's all this like room for like shit to like happen. But in the 2nd season, there was this really big writers' strike, and so all the writers for the show just bailed, and so the show from that point on just like really suffered.
Yeah,
it was unfortunate.
I hate when things get when shows could be so much more, but it's either like I don't know, the people or just the finance that just cucks it, you know, it just kind of sucks.
Yeah. They had a really cool villain named Sylar. His superpower was that he could, like, this is a spoiler, obviously, but I don't think anyone's going to watch this show because it's not good enough to watch.
Yeah.
His superpower was that he could analyze, like, if you opened up someone's head and looked at their brain, he could see what powers, like what causes them to have that power, and change it within themselves so that he would basically gain their power.
Oh shit.
He was like the main villain. Yeah, he was fucking bad. He was a fucking evil dude.
Yeah.
It was played by the guy who plays Spock in the newer Star Trek movies.
Oh, nice. I remember I saw one or... How many new Star Trek movies did it? Because I remember seeing either 1 or 2 of them.
I think like 4, maybe? I don't know. I only saw, I think, 2.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen any previous Star Trek just because I never got like an opportunity to like really watch it. Like, did they ever have Star Trek on cable TV often?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Usually on like Sci-Fi or something, or some other channel.
Well, but the movies were.
Well, not the movies. I mean, like the old Star Trek.
The shows? Oh yeah, absolutely. They were on Fox, I think.
Oh, okay. Like I feel like I probably only became like intrigued to watch it when I started seeing all the Star Trek versus Star Wars comparisons heat back up when the sequels of Star Wars were coming. 'Cause, I mean, it's always been debated, right? But then like it came back up with the sequels, and the sequels were just fucking absolute hot garbage. Like like that. The biggest Disney cash grabs, I would say, would be like the Star Wars sequels, and then them turning all their famous '90s animated movies into live action recently. Like,
I kind of give the whole like the new trilogy for the new trilogy for Star Wars like a little bit more slack. Not that they were like great movies or anything like that. That's kind of what I mean. But like, so for what was the was it not the was it the Force Awakens? Yeah, the Force Awakens with the new one that came in. First of all, that came out on my birthday, and I watched it on my birthday and had a really good time.
yeah,
I thought that movie was okay.
that was probably the best of the three, but it was basically like it was like very similar to New Hope, but just with like more people dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
I
think it was supposed to be
reintroducing.
like,
I felt like
a
there was more
retelling.
potential after that movie, so that's what got me hoped up.
Yeah, no. I completely agree. So, like, what I was telling, I had this friend named Ben who was a huge movie buff, and we would just kind of go in through our own movie theories about this shit. But
Yeah.
like, I thought the whole point of the first movie, that first new movie of the trilogy, was to kind of get people like back into saying, hey, we're going back to the old formula. This is what we're planning on Star Wars being. This is what we want Star Wars to be. We want it to be more like the original trilogy that came out.
Yeah,
Not like this sort of like poor acting, like poor directing, poor writing, suspense, like, you know, political thriller that, you know, the episodes 1, 2, and 3 were. We want to go back to the original thing, and that's why I feel like it hashed on a lot of the similar trends. But I think one of the problems was that J.J. Abrams made the first movie, and he seemed to have something like open-ended, but then he didn't direct the second
yeah, that was so dumb to me. I don't understand changing directors when you know you're gonna do a trilogy. Like, you already have it planned out. You're doing a trilogy, and then you just fuck this up. I just don't understand.
I think it was J.J. Abrams. He wanted to do something else. I think he chose not to do the second movie, but I don't know all the details.
Yeah, there's like rumors of shit. Like, I don't actually know how much how much creative freedom Disney gave him, or what. Like, 'cause some people were saying that there were certain things Disney wouldn't like allow him to do with the trilogy or something. Like, someone else already had a vision, and I have no idea how true that is. But like, if he left, I feel like if he had creative freedom and had the whole like trilogy, I don't think he would leave. Because even if I feel like it'd be like a kind of like a legacy thing. Plus, I mean, they got to be paying him well, right, to do it. So I don't know.
Right. So the way I looked at the second movie is, and I said this to my friend about this like before the movie came out. I thought the coolest thing that they could do in the second movie was to switch the roles of Kylo Ren and Rey.
Yeah.
And have because Rey was going through this whole thing where they were like fighting off the dark urges and shit, and then they went to that one fucking weird ass like place that was like touched with
Oh, that place where you thought she was
like
gonna see her
vapor.
dark side or her dark self or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
I
there
was
like,
so
all this
pissed.
underlining tone.
I was so pissed
And
that
it was
she
just
didn't
like-
see her dark side, and then it was like, and then like I don't know,
It didn't
dude,
mean anything.
yeah, and then there was Kylo, and then did they even end up fighting? I don't even remember, dude. I just remember being mad.
Oh yeah, they
at,
fought.
like,
They fought a little bit, and then he was trying to like kill everybody, like the last of the resistance or whatever.
mhm.
That's when he was like more, and then that's when Skywalker died.
And then they completely fucked over Finn's character, but he's like him and this chick go to the gambling fucking planet for 20 or 30 minutes for whatever fucking reason. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then that, oh my god, that
I don't know,
annoying lady, dude, that hated the pilot guy. That was like basically the new Han Solo of this generation, but you know what I mean? Like, what was that guy's name?
I don't remember the character.
That shit was so annoying. And then
Dameron. That was
and then they had her like sacrifice herself with the ship. I was like, that doesn't make up for how much of a bitch she was to like literally fucking everyone.
God, yeah.
Holy shit, insufferable fucking character.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then
was,
the third one I hated the most.
The whole movie could have been saved if they just made Rey bad and then Kylo Ren sort of regret his actions. Like, if that was like, if they just did that switch, they could have done so much.
Do that switch and then take out Finn's thing and give him something that will actually, like, if you didn't want him to be that significant after this movie, give him a better, like, better thing than just being like, oh, he's into this chick now, right? Like, I don't know, that I can understand that the actor being annoyed that they took it in that direction. Like, that shit was just like, they made it seem like he was going to be a more important character for like the next 2 movies.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's weird that they switched directors and all this, because it seemed like, you know, there was like an idea there, and then they're like, well, you just deal with it now. And then they brought in a guy who just didn't want to do anything that people wanted. So it's like, I don't know, it's just so that whole movie is rough. I'm not sure why they decided to. And then it's so divisive too.
Yeah, like, what the Last Jedi or the fucking last one?
Yeah, the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, that whole movie is just, and then the third movie was obviously just J.J. Abrams trying to pick up the pieces.
Dude, I hated the third movie so much, dude. I fucking, oh my god.
Yeah, I like the atmosphere, like when they went to that planet and stuff. But
yeah,
it was dumb. Yeah,
it was just the writing is just so baffling to me. I was like, why is Palpatine back? And at the end, the ending just like felt like I just got pissed on, but not even in a good way. I was just like, oh yeah, just fucking. I don't even. Well, it was like a Skywalker. That's like, no, I'm a Palpatine. What the fuck was it? I don't even remember, dude. It was just some debate or some shit. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. I mean, and then fucking Kylo Ren became good anyway, which is like half of my idea. Right? They literally started doing that idea, but they didn't have another whole movie to flesh it out, so Rey doesn't ever become bad. Like, she just almost becomes Palpatine.
Yeah.
It was so dumb. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes. You know, people just shit on your fucking dreams and your...
Yeah, dude, it's like, bro, it's like, yeah, it's a cash grab, but if you made the movies actually good, you know, you could have made even more money. Like, I don't understand why people don't realize that. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, if people are raving about it, then everyone will be like, oh shit, I want to see it 5 times, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole fallout from the Last Jedi affected the Han Solo movies, because fans were like, we were so fucking sickened by that last movie. And so it didn't do nearly as good as they hoped, so they canceled a whole Solo 2 movie, which was, the Han Solo movie is really good. It's definitely a far cry from what The Last Jedi is. It's just fucking cool adventure. You know?
Yeah. That's why I want to watch the series. I need to watch more like live action stuff, and I want to watch like The Mandalorian and what is the other one called? The one that starts with an A.
The Acolyte?
It's just like a series, like another Star Wars series.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
It's The Acolyte.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure how good that.
Oh,
one
someone
is.
said Andor.
Mixed things about. Oh, Andor. Yeah, there's Andor. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to watch all those because all the
Acolyte's the
side
new one.
stuff seems to be like the good Star Wars shit.
Yeah. Well, it lets them expand the universe. Like, that's the hardest part about like fantasy and sci-fi movies. Well, sci-fi is, I feel, a little bit easier, but is establishing the universe and whatnot and making it presentable. Which is why you always go back to fucking Tatooine. It's because it's fucking relatable, and they don't have to re-explain a whole new planet and an
Yeah,
ecosystem.
exactly.
It's
Like,
already like a
it's, I would say with the universe that big, one of the hardest things to do is keep track of making sure you don't have any inconsistencies, right? With like explaining this planet, that planet, how these people work, this government in this solar system, like all that kind of shit. Because like for the Force, like one of the dumbest things about the sequels is like I hate how the Force is just it's whatever it needs to be at that certain time kind of deal. Like with the Princess Leia scene, dude, that shit was just so dumb to me. Like I was trying to buy it, but I just couldn't buy it. I was like, bro, this is stupid as fuck. Like, you know, it's just it felt like a shonen, you know?
What's the video game called? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. It's like the whole new video game series, the Fallen Order game with that redhead. That game was really cool because you visited like a bunch of places, not only that were like, well, actually they were all places that weren't like familiar to the main story, but some of them were touched on in like Clone Wars and stuff.
Right.
And they also touch on like other things about the Force. Like there's like a whole sect of witches that like came from like Darth Maul's planet that were like they have like necromantic powers and shit. Like that's cool. Like go more into
Like that
like,
Beretigan critics things. Oh, I see.
They kind of put themselves in a hole with like exploring the Force stuff because they've literally killed off all the Sith. There's only been a few Sith left, and then they just killed them off.
Yeah.
And then the Jedi, there's only like one Jedi. They don't know anything. So the only way that they're really going to be able to like re-explore this shit is if they do a time jump or they go into the past. Like that's the only way that they can really expand, unless they were to find like a planet of new, like Jedi powers or Sith powers or whatever. Like, there's just not much to explore there, and that's the cool stuff that people like in Star Wars, right? Like, the fucking Force powers, like, affecting stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we've already done the political thriller. We've already done the adventure, the story, the coming of age story. Like, what else are you gonna do in this series, right? There's just not much to do. Which is why TV shows work better, because you introduce these new characters with smaller stakes, but like more drama to it.
Yeah,
they're not,
and those characters can be more relatable because you have a lot more screen time to work with, and it's easier to segment episodes to where each episode you can either have it be a cliffhanger or an episode could be like, you know, it could end well, but you know there's more.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the reason why Acolyte takes place, I think, before the episodes 1, 2, and 3, where like the Senate's still around, the Jedi Order is in charge of like a lot of things, of all the Force-sensitive kids and stuff. You know, that's why they were trying to explore there. There was just some. I didn't watch the show. I just saw a lot of corny things from that show that just kind of turned me off from ever looking at it. So, but that's, you know, not here or there. It's not an official like rating by me. I just was like, probably.
Yeah.
Like, am I paying $15 to Disney Plus to watch this show? I don't.
Yeah, I go through phases where I'm either just like gaming and hanging out, or sometimes I'll go through phases where I'll like binge watch some anime, but it's like not often. That I'm like, damn, I want to watch more shows, but I feel like the internet has destroyed my attention span over the years, and I'm just like, I have to put my phone away, I have to do everything, and just lock in. I'm not taking any phone calls. Just like gotta lock in. I don't want any interruptions, otherwise I won't be able to like properly watch through a show. You know, it's hard to get through it if you only watch like one episode at a time.
Yeah, the only show that's kept me locked in, and this was actually happening at TwitchCon too. I was locked in at Dexter. I binge watched like the first 4 or 5 seasons like straight. Like I was just hooked on that show, and I slowed down a bit after TwitchCon. I'm like season 7, and I haven't really gotten past like the first 2 episodes. So, but good show. Watch that show. It's a good show.
Yeah, it's like a crime thriller, right? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean the main character is a serial killer who kills serial killers.
Oh shit, that's sick, actually. What
the
concept?
He works for the Miami Metro Police. So he's sort of like an inside guy. It's
Dang, he
cool
works
show.
with them? Oh,
It's
that's interesting.
yeah, and it's cool. It's just cool because it's like you're basically it's an anti-hero. He's not really a good guy. He's a serial killer. High defect.
Oh. So it's up. You got a spinning link behind you. He's about to save the world. I like that I have the third person mode so I could just toggle out and then. Oh, if I do that, it's easy. But yeah, that's there's so many good shows out there. I feel like I gotta find my best way to binge stuff. 'Cause it's like I'll have the time here and there, but like then I also get like sometimes I get FOMO just to be like, well, all my friends are doing this, right? Doing this or that. And I'm like, damn, do we really want to watch this show? Like, it'll be good for me, or I could just like fuck around with my friends. I don't know. I feel like life is always about questioning what you're doing versus what you could be doing. I feel like that's always a big thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we only got so much time in this world. It makes sense that would be a huge struggle what we do, especially when you have the availability to do that stuff. Like, you know, it's only been very recent where like a large population, other than the very top of the social ladder, is able to have free time on a daily basis. Like
Yeah.
consistently. Like that's a very recent thing. Like it hasn't even been like 100 years here in America where that's the case. So, I mean, you look at like the 1920s and 30s, and still a lot of people were just like working all the fucking time. They didn't have time.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, 40-hour work week is just like an old concept from like long ago that I'm wondering like how with technology continuing to like reduce jobs in like a lot of places, it's gonna come to a point where like, well, I mean, it's kind of already at that point. A lot of people like they'll get their quota of work done and do a lot of like pretending to work because it's like you're done with your work. But if you work a lot harder, then they'll have that expectation for you to work that hard all the time. Like say like a cubicle job or something, right? It is just like. It's like, well, now they're just trying to squeeze more hard work and effort out of you. And it's like, oh, that more hard work and effort makes it so you're just more mentally exhausted at the end of the day. And then you just don't like,
right.
A lot of times you won't want to do anything because you're already like kind of hit like your soft cap of effort you normally put in a day. You're like, man, I got all these other things to do, but I'm tired, so I want to put it off. And then it like compounds, right? Like I know when, this was only Dollar General. I was only working like 20, 30 hours a week. But after doing all that and dealing with customers, I just didn't want to find a different job because I just got so complacent being at that job. And like $2 an hour. And I was like, I want to look for another job, but I was like, what other job could I even get? I was like convincing myself that I don't want to put even more effort in to not find something else. That was back when I was like 19. You know. The only reason I didn't leave is because I liked all my coworkers. And the actual job, when I'm not dealing with that 10% of customers that are like shitty, is pretty chill. Like just stocking stuff is pretty fun, you know. Just look at the SKU number, put the shit up, you know. And time passes by really quick doing that. So whenever we get a truck, I was always like chilling. Like my shift would go by like nothing. Like 6-hour shift to be like nothing.
Yeah, I heard though that like Dollar General and Dollar Tree had been cutting like jobs so much that that it was like impossible for people to stock their shit. Like,
it's really bad
because there weren't enough people to man the registers and to stock things.
It was bad when I was working there, and the pandemic made it way worse. Like John Oliver did a thing on dollar stores, and I saw that episode, and I was able to relate to it so hard because what they do, so at Dollar General, so the store is even in dollar stores, right? It's like a 60-foot by like 35-foot store, 60 by 40 or something like that, 65 by 40, in like feet, and you have to. There's usually 2 people working there, usually. But if they're short-staffed, sometimes it's just 1 person. But normally it'll be a manager on duty, and then you have a cashier. Because the manager on duty has to count all the money at the end of the night, do all that stuff. And like you put in like holiday, like sections and all that shit. They have like planograms and shit for that to put in, you know, like for Halloween or whatever else you see in a dollar store. Just as an example, they gotta do that and watch the register. If they have a cashier, the cashier does the register and then does like overstock from like, because we usually get 1 truck a week, and it's usually the truck usually ends up getting done over the next day. But then the rest of the week you have like all this overstock of stuff that you get, but you have too much of it, so you just put it in the back, but then you just check it throughout the week as people buy shit. But you're like in the back of the store, you got to do that. There's a lot of places in the store where you can't see the counter, so sometimes you can't tell if there's someone at the counter. But then like they got to run back and forth constantly, like a chicken with your head cut off. Sometimes there'll be like 1 register open, and then sometimes there'll be like nobody in line, and 1 minute later there's like 6 people in line, and it's like it can get pretty stressful like when it gets busy. But then the rest of the time, there's not any one of the stores like chill, but you always have that like paranoia of, oh shit, what if someone came in and they're standing at the register all of a sudden, and like you missed them for a minute, because then people get pissed off super easy. Because the reason they go into a dollar store is because they don't want to walk through the Walmart parking lot and walk in a big ass store like Walmart. So they have less patience going into the dollar store.
They also want to spend like pennies and not dollars.
Yeah. Oh my god, we had someone try and spend like $8 in pennies, get rid of a bunch of. I was like, bro, we do not have the room in this register for 800 fucking pennies. If you use pennies, you better have them in those rolls and get them from your bank. But if you're going to your bank, why would you not have just normal fucking cash? It was pretty interesting. There's definitely some experience, right? But like, then I saw John Oliver, saw he was doing it, and there's a lot more situations now where there's 1 person as a manager on duty running a whole fucking store, and they don't have enough time to get all that shit done. And then like, oh my god, there would just be some that they just up and quit, and then the store has to shut down for like a long time because people go on strike and shit. I was like, good for them, man, right? It was already bad, but it's gotten way worse. Like we would only have for the entire time we had like 6 people on staff when we're fully staffed at Dollar General. Only 6, and 3 or 4 people would be working when we do the truck. But other than that, it's like 1 or 2 people. And then they limit our hours too, so that we can't have the overlap we need to get shit done, which also sucks. So
yeah, dude, I couldn't imagine. I haven't worked like a retail-esque job in years now. I can't imagine going back.
I worked there for 3.5 years, and I left at the end of 2016. The pandemic, oh my god, and then dealing with the pandemic with people pulling guns on you because they don't want to wear masks is like the most childish thing I've ever heard. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? How are these people adults, dude? Crazy.
Yeah.
Because some people never grow up mentally.
Alright, I need to head to bed because I gotta wake up and do DM shit, so.
Oh, you're doing some D&D?
Yeah, I've been running a campaign now for a number of weeks. So I usually get up on Saturday. If I haven't figured out what I'm doing, I get up early on Saturday to get everything set up. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm going to bed. So
Yeah. Are you You ever heard of a game called Twilight Imperium?
Twilight Imperium, no.
Yeah, so it's a game I've been like just seeing if people are interested. I have like some IRL friends that play it, but I've been like teaching some new people because I'd never heard of this game either. My friend introduced it to me. It's a modern board game that's like Base Risk meets Monopoly meets Settlers of Catan, and it's like you play anywhere between like 3 to 8 players, and you basically have these 25 factions, and the whole thing is they're all fighting to be the throne of the galaxy, like to be the leaders of the galaxy essentially. And all the players, you got to complete all these like objectives, like public objectives and private objectives or secret objectives. And you try, and first person to 10 victory points wins. And very fun game. You get a bunch of like ships, like fucking, you have a flagship. War Suns are basically like Death Stars, infantry, fighters, mechs, like all this shit. And it's like turn-based combat where you just roll a bunch of d10s, depending on like how many ships you have and everything. It's really cool. It has a bunch of shit in it. Like there's a lot of like table politics, strategy cards, action cards. Like there's so much to the game. It's like really interesting. But whenever people do D&D, I usually ask people because it's the way it's similar to D&D is it requires the same amount of patience to get people together and to play the game, which is like I think that's the hardest part about D&D is that like availability and scheduling.
Yeah, like it sounds like it would also be like a 3 to 4 hour game too.
Oh no, it's like it lasts longer, but some people do it in separate sessions. Like, say you do 2 rounds, like one day. It takes like, and for starters, it usually takes longer, and then like later on, you do like even more, like you do. But some people do like a session that like. For experienced players, if you play 6-player games, sometimes it'll take like 6 or 7 hours, but people are like really invested, right? So it doesn't even feel that long. But if you have like a busier schedule, people do it in sessions and just find a time when everyone can kind of make it. Kind of like in that D&D style way, you know what I mean? Like usually you have a time of the week where people meet up.
I'd be interested. I'm just
Yeah.
not sure how much time I can commit to a game like that during the week or
Oh yeah.
the weekend.
I'll just send you a video and just
like...
see. You can just let me know if it's something you'd be interested in doing in the future. There's like no rush or anything because me and my IRL friends are always running games.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to do it like we'd have to do it on like Tabletop Simulator.
Oh yeah, that's what we do. There's a mod that's Tabletop Sim that's like, it's really good. There's a lot of quality of life stuff on it that like helps people out. Yeah, I'll just send you there's like a 30-minute video that covers all the like basic stuff. It's easy to feel like overwhelmed or confused by it, but that's like a natural feeling learning this game because there's like it's a fairly steep learning curve, but I guess if you're able to just you just slowly learn bits and pieces at a time. So like the basic stuff first and then the more detailed stuff. You're not going to be able to keep up with all there's 25 factions that they all like specialize in different things in different ways, right? Like there's like military factions. Some factions are more diplomatic or they are good in trade or something, you know. It's really interesting. And there's a bunch of lore too.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Oh, I love lore.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head to bed though.
All right.
Good talking. Good catching
Have a good
up.
sleep.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Yo, what up? So I'll just let you know I'm streaming. You didn't read this status. This world's cool. Have you ever been to this world? Yeah. So it's like someone's doing Ocarina of Time 3D and they're just like slowly updating it. And there's certain things you can't do, like the Great Deku Tree, they put the heart, or they didn't put the heart container. They put the Kokiri Emerald outside the tree, and you just grab it. I'm waiting on them to finish the other two, like, child stones that you get, the, like, when you're Link as a child. But I guess that hasn't happened yet. But there's more NPCs, and like the world's like cleaner now. So cool. Yeah, watch this. I can do this with this avatar. This is just something I could just do in the world. Fucking, I could do this shit. Pretty sick. It helps me get around the map. But yeah, this is a good world. I gotta go do anime night though. It was good seeing you. I'm actually streaming longer than I thought. Yeah, I've been going almost 3 hours. Yeah, I'll probably start anime night in an hour. I'll do 2:30 a.m. Hana, how's 2:30 a.m.? Is that good? Alright. Alright, see you around. I'll go to my homeworld and then raid somebody. Alright, peace. Woo! Alright, that's sick. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, brother. Who is this, dude? I'm not gonna accept a friend request from someone who has the... When people have the cursive and spaces between the letters in their name, it's fucking sus, dude. It's sus as fuck. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed, dude. Don't forget, Improv Intruders tomorrow. It's gonna be sick. Hope y'all look forward to that. I'll still be at work, but I'll be watching. Alright, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna chill and eat again for the next hour. Who we raiding? Here, hold on. Oh, I had this boom bap thing. I'll just do the let's do the thing next time. I might go live earlier than 10 p.m. For like a pre-show kind of thing. So I will have like 30 minutes to an hour before the show actually starts. That way I can just stall and get more stream time out of that. Let's see. What are people doing? Evo's live. Yeah, Tevin's live. Oh, Neff is live. I can raid Neff. Yeah, I'll do that. Neff, Tanika. Hope you guys enjoy. Guys, if you want to watch Anime Night, here's the Discord. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank y'all for being here. If there's anything I ask of anyone, tomorrow night's stream is going to be badass. And it is like, the content will be supreme. So, please show up for that. I'm going to try and get chat more involved in some way or another. But I'll ask people for suggestions and try and set something up next time. So yeah. But let me actually click in Neff's here. Tab. Alright. Okay. Alright. You guys take care. We're going to do Anime Night in 1 hour from now in my Discord. There's the Discord link. Please join. I'm desperate, baby. Please join the Anime Night. All the rest of the scoreable episodes are filler, so I think I'm just gonna watch like Monogatari and some Wataria. What is that anime called? Wataria, whatever it's called. Wistoria. Yeah, that's what it's called. Wistoria, I think. All right. Let's see. All right.